All right, we're live. Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to Torah Portion with the Grants. I'm Jake, and this is Sierra. And today we're just going to be reading through some scripture. We're going to continue on in the Torah portion. This week is in Numbers chapter 8 through 12. And if you want to check out what we're doing on a weekly reading schedule, you can go over to torahportions.ffoz.org. And I believe, let me just scroll down here. Yeah, we got Torah portion Beha'alotekha, and it's Numbers 8, 1 through 12:15, and we're going to be reading a little bit of Zechariah and some of Matthew in the Gospels. Alright, so before we do that, I like to play the Parsha in 60 seconds video, which is pretty great, and we'll go from there. So here we go.
60 seconds. Today's portion is from Numbers 8:1 through 12:16. It is called Beha'alotekha, which means when you step up. The Levites were dedicated to God in a ceremony that involves sprinkling water and laying hands on two bowls. It was time to celebrate Passover. Some men were unclean. God allowed a second Passover offering on the 14th day of the second month. A cloud covered the tabernacle by day, and a fire rested on it by night. The Israelites used silver horns to communicate to the whole camp. The Israelites followed the cloud to the wilderness of Paran. Moses asked his father-in-law to come with them, but he refused. Moses asked again, and they marched 3 days' distance from Mount Sinai. When the people would complain, God would rain down fire outside the camp until Moses prayed. The people demanded meat, and Moses complained to God about the people. God would give them meat, and came down to take the spirit that rested on Moses and place it on 70 elders. 2 of the elders stayed in the camp and still received the spirit and began prophesying. This concerned Joshua, but Moses said it was a good thing. God provided quail, but then sent a plague. Miriam and Aaron spoke against Moses, and God rebuked them, and afflicted Miriam with scales. Moses asked God to heal her, but God made her go through the same purification process like everyone else. And that is Beha'alotekha in 60 seconds.
Alright, got my audio back on here. So, this is an interesting Torah portion. Believe it or not, it has interesting implications for today's current political and social climate. Moses actually married an Ethiopian, and you had Miriam coming against Moses because of his bride. And what's interesting about that is because this seems to be an example of early racism, I guess you could say, which is what's happening today. Is a lot of people are going out and protesting against injustice against black people. And this is an interesting example in the scripture of God basically punishing Miriam for being racist. So interesting things that you can read in the Torah portion that relate to things going on in the world today, and shows that God is race blind. He does not care about what color you are, but we see that He does want all people to be able to be grafted into His kingdom and in His nation. So anyways, we're going to go ahead and start reading in Numbers chapter 8, and Blue Letter Bible is what I like to use, so you guys can read along with us if you want. Alright, I'm going to zoom this in real quick so you guys can see it a little bit better while I'm reading. And there we go. One moment. Okay. Numbers chapter 8. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto Aaron, and say unto him, When thou lightest the lamps, the 7 lamps shall give light over against the candlestick. And Aaron did so, and he lighted the lamps thereof over against the candlestick, as the Lord commanded Moses. And this work of the candlestick was of beaten gold, unto the shaft thereof, unto the flowers thereof, was beaten work, according unto the pattern which the Lord had showed Moses. So he made the candlestick. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Take the Levites from among the children of Israel, and cleanse them. And thus thou shalt do unto them to cleanse them. Sprinkle water of purifying upon them, and let them shave all their flesh, and let them wash their clothes, and so make themselves clean. And let them take a young bullock with his meat offering, even fine flour mingled with oil, and another young bullock shalt thou take for sin offering. And thou shalt bring the Levites before the tabernacle of the congregation, and thou shalt gather the whole assembly of the children of Israel together. And thou shalt bring the Levites before the Lord, and the children of Israel shall put their hands upon the Levites. And Aaron shall offer the Levites before the Lord for an offering of the children of Israel, that they may execute the service of the Lord. And the Levites shall lay their hands upon the heads of the bullock, and thou shalt offer the one for a sin offering, and the other for a burnt offering unto the Lord, to make an atonement for the Levites. And thou shalt set the Levites before Aaron and before his sons, and offer them for an offering unto the Lord. And thus shalt thou separate the Levites from among the children of Israel, and the Levites shall be mine. And after that shall the Levites go in to do the service of the tabernacle of the congregation, and thou shalt cleanse them, and offer them for an offering. And they are wholly given unto me for among the children of Israel, instead of such as open every womb, even instead of the firstborn of all the children of Israel, have I taken them unto me. For all the firstborn of Israel, children of Israel are mine, both man and beast. On the day that I smote every firstborn in the land of Egypt, I sanctified them for myself. And I have taken the Levites for all the firstborn of the children of Israel. And I have given the Levites as a gift to Aaron and his sons from among the children of Israel, to do the service of the children of Israel in the tabernacle of the congregation, and to make an atonement for the children of Israel, that there be no plague among the children of Israel when the children of Israel come nigh unto the sanctuary. And Moses and Aaron and all the congregation of the children of Israel did to the Levites according to all that the Lord commanded Moses concerning the Levites. So did the children of Israel unto them. And the Levites were purified, and they washed their clothes, and Aaron offered them as an offering before the Lord, and Aaron made an atonement to cleanse them. And after that went the Levites in to do their service in the tabernacle of the congregation, before Aaron, and before his sons, as the Lord had commanded Moses concerning the Levites. So did they unto them. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, This is what belongeth unto the Levites. From 25 years old and upward they shall go in to wait upon the service of the tabernacle of the congregation. And from the age of 50 years they shall cease waiting upon the service thereof, and shall serve no more, but shall minister with their brethren in the tabernacle of the congregation, to keep the charge, and shall do no service. Thus shalt thou do unto the Levites, touching their charge. Alright, so here it's going to kick it off.
And the Lord spake unto Moses in the wilderness of Sinai in the first month of the 2nd year, after they were come out of the land of Egypt, saying, Let the children of Israel also keep the Passover at his appointed season. In the 14th day of this month at even ye shall keep it in his appointed season, according to all the rites of it, and according to all the ceremonies thereof shall ye keep it. And Moses spake unto the children of Israel that they should keep the Passover. And they kept the Passover on the 14th day of the first month at even, in the wilderness of Sinai, according to all that the Lord commanded Moses, so did the children of Israel. And there were certain men who were defiled by the dead body of a man, that they could not keep the Passover on that day, and they came before Moses and before Aaron on that day. And those men said unto him, We are defiled by the dead body of a man. Wherefore are we kept back, that we may not offer an offering of the Lord in his appointed season among the children of Israel? And Moses said unto them, Stand still, and I will hear what the Lord will command concerning you. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, If any man of you or of your posterity shall be unclean by reason of a dead body, or be in a journey afar off, yet he shall keep the Passover unto the Lord. The 14th day of the 2nd month at even they shall keep it, and eat it with unleavened bread and bitter herbs. They shall leave none of it unto the morning, nor break any bone of it. According to all the ordinances of the Passover they shall keep it. But the man that is clean and is not in a journey, and forbeareth to keep the Passover, even the same soul shall be cut off from among his people, because he brought not the offering of the Lord in his appointed season. That man shall bear his sin. And if a stranger shall sojourn among you, and will keep the Passover unto the Lord, according to the ordinance of the Passover, and according to the manner thereof, so shall he do. Ye shall have one ordinance, both for the stranger and for him that was born in the land. And on the day that the tabernacle was reared up, the cloud covered the tabernacle, namely the tent of the testimony. And at even there was upon the tabernacle, as it were, the appearance of fire until the morning. So it was alway, the cloud covered it by day, and the appearance of fire by night. And when the cloud was taken up from the tabernacle, then after that of the children of Israel journeyed. And in the place where the cloud abode, there the children of Israel pitched their tents. And at the commandment of the Lord, the children of Israel journeyed, and at the commandment of the Lord they pitched. As long as the cloud abode upon the tabernacle, they rested in their tents. And when the cloud tarried long upon the tabernacle many days, then the children of Israel kept the charge of the Lord and journeyed not. And so it was, when the cloud was a few days upon the tabernacle, according to the commandment of the Lord they abode in their tents, and according to the commandment of the Lord they journeyed. And so it was, when the cloud abode from even until the morning, and that the cloud was taken up in the morning, then they journeyed, whether it was by day or by night, that the cloud was taken up, they journeyed. Or whether it were 2 days, or a month, or a year, that the cloud tarried upon the tabernacle, remaining thereon, the children of Israel abode in their tents, and journeyed not, but when it was taken up they journeyed. At the commandment of the Lord they rested in the tents, and at the commandment of the Lord they journeyed. They kept the charge of the Lord at the commandment of the Lord by the hand of Moses.
All right, and the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Make thee 2 trumpets of silver, of a whole piece shalt thou make them, and thou mayest use them for the calling of the assembly, and for the journeying of the camps. And when they shall blow them, all the assembly shall assemble themselves to thee at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And if they blow out with 1 trumpet, then the princes, which are heads of the thousands of Israel, shall gather themselves unto thee. When ye blow an alarm, when in the camp that lie on the east part shall go forward. When ye blow the alarm the 2nd time, then the camp that lie on the south side shall take their journey, and they shall blow an alarm for their journeys. But when the congregation is gathered together, ye shall blow, but ye shall not sound an alarm. And the sons of Aaron the priest shall blow with the trumpets, and they shall be to you for an ordinance for ever throughout your generations. And if ye go to war in your land against the enemy that oppresseth you, then ye shall blow an alarm with the trumpets, and ye shall be remembered before the Lord your God, and ye shall be saved from your enemies.
Also in the day of your gladness, and in your solemn days, and in the beginning of your months, ye shall blow with the trumpets over your burnt offerings, and over the sacrifices of your peace offerings, that they may be to you for a memorial before your God. I am the Lord your God. And it came to pass on the 20th day of the 2nd month, in the 2nd year, that the cloud was taken up from off the tabernacle of the testimony. And the children of Israel took their journeys out of the wilderness of Sinai, and the cloud rested in the wilderness of Paran.
And they took their journey according to the commandment of the Lord by the hand of Moses. In the first place went the standard of the camp of the children of Judah according to their armies, and over his host was Nahshon the son of Amminadab. And over the host of the tribe of the children of Issachar was Nathaniel the son of Zuar. And over the host of the tribe of the children of Zebulun was Eliab the son of Helon. The tabernacle was taken down, and the sons of Gershon and the sons of Merari set forward, bearing the tabernacle. And the standard of the camp of Reuben set forward according to their armies, and over his host was Eliezer the son of Shadur. And over the host of the tribe of the children of Simeon was Shalumiel the son of Zurishaddai. And over the host of the tribe of the children of Gad was Elisaph the son of Duel. And the Kohathites set forward, bearing the sanctuary, and the others did set up the tabernacle against they came. And the standard of the camp of the children of Ephraim set forward according to their armies, and over his host was Elishama the son of Ammihud. And over the host of the tribe of the children of Manasseh was Gamaliel the son of Pedazur. And over the host of the tribe of the children of Benjamin was Abidan the son of Gideoni. And the standard of the camp of the children of Dan set forward, which was the rear reward of all the camps throughout their hosts. And over his host was Ahiezer the son of Amminashadai. And over the host of the tribe of the children of Asher was Pagiel the son of Akron. And over the host of the tribe of the children of Naphtali was Ahira the son of Enan. Thus were the journeyings of the children of Israel according to their armies, when they set forward. And Moses said unto Hobab the son of Ragel the Midianite, Moses' father-in-law, We are journeying into the place of which the Lord said, I will give it to you. Come thou with us, and we will do thee good, for the Lord hath spoken good concerning Israel. And he said unto him, I will not go, but I will depart to mine own land, and to my kindred. And he said, Leave us not, I pray thee, for as much as thou knowest how we are to camp in the wilderness, and thou mayest be to us instead of eyes. And it shall be, if thou go with us, yea, it shall be, that what goodness the Lord shall do unto us, the same will we do unto thee. And they departed from the mount of the Lord 3 days' journey, and in the ark of the covenant of the Lord went before them in the 3 days' journey to search out a resting place for them. And the cloud of the Lord was upon them by day when they went out of the camp. And it came to pass, when the ark set forward, that Moses said, Rise up, Lord, and let thine enemies be scattered, and let them that hate thee flee before thee. And when it rested, he said, Return, O Lord, unto the many thousands of Israel.
And when the people complained, it displeased the Lord, and the Lord heard it, and his anger was kindled, and the fire of the Lord burnt among them, and consumed them that were in the uttermost parts of the camp. And the people cried unto Moses, and when Moses prayed unto the Lord, the fire was quenched. And he called the name of the place Taberah, because the fire of the Lord burnt among them. And the mixed multitude that was upon them fell a-lusting. And the children of Israel also wept again, and said, Who shall give us flesh to eat? We remember the fish which we did eat in Egypt freely, the cucumbers, and the melons, and the leeks, and the onions, and the garlic. But now our soul is dried away, there is nothing at all besides this manna before our eyes. And the manna was as coriander seed, and the color thereof was the color of bdellium. And the people went about and gathered it, and ground it in mills, or beat it in a mortar, and baked it in pans, and made cakes of it. And the taste of it was as the taste of fresh oil. And when the dew fell upon the camp in the night, the manna fell upon it. Then Moses heard the people weep throughout their families, every man in the door of his tent, and the anger of the Lord was kindled greatly. Moses also was displeased. And Moses said unto the Lord, Wherefore hast thou afflicted thy servant? And wherefore have I not found favor in thy sight, that thou layest the burden of all this people upon me? Have I conceived all this people? Have I begotten them, that thou shouldest say unto me, Carry them in thy bosom, as a nursing father beareth the sucking child, unto the land which thou swarest unto thy fathers? Whence should I have flesh to give unto all these people? For they weep unto me, saying, Give us flesh that we may eat. I am not able to bear all these people alone, because it is too heavy for me. And if thou deal thus with me, kill me, I pray thee, out of hand. If I have found favor in thy sight, and let me not see my wretchedness. And the Lord said unto Moses, Gather unto me 70 men of the elders of Israel, whom thou knowest to be elders of the people, and officers over them, and bring them unto the tabernacle of the congregation, that they may stand there with thee. And I will come down and talk with thee there, and I will take of the Spirit which is upon thee, and will put it upon them. And they shall bear the burden of the people with thee, that thou bear it not thyself alone. And say thou unto the people, Sanctify yourselves against tomorrow, and ye shall eat flesh. For ye have wept in the ears of the Lord, saying, Who shall give us flesh to eat? For it was well with us in Egypt. Therefore the Lord will give you flesh, and ye shall eat. Ye shall not eat 1 day, nor 2 days, nor 5 days, nor 10 days, nor 20 days, but even a whole month, until it comes out at your nostrils, and it be loathsome unto you, because that ye have despised the Lord which is among you, and have wept before him, saying, Why come we forth out of Egypt? And Moses said, The people among whom I am are 600,000 footmen, and thou hast said, I will give them flesh, that they may eat a whole month. Shall the flocks and herds be slain for them to suffice them? Or shall all the fish of the sea be gathered together for them to suffice them? And the Lord said unto Moses, Is the Lord's hand waxed short? Thou shalt see now whether my word shall come to pass unto thee or not. And Moses went out and told the people the words of the Lord, and gathered the 70 men of the elders of the people, and set them round about the tabernacle. And the Lord came down in a cloud, and spake unto him, and took of the Spirit that was upon him, and gave it unto the 70 elders. And it came to pass, that when the Spirit rested upon them, they prophesied, and did not cease. But there remained 2 of the men in the camp. The name of the one was Eldad, and the name of the other Medad. And the Spirit rested upon them, and they were of them that were written, but went not out unto the tabernacle, and they prophesied in the camp. And there ran a young man and told Moses and said, Eldad and Medad do prophesy in the camp. And Joshua the son of Nun, the servant of Moses, one of his young men, answered and said, My lord Moses, forbid them. And Moses said unto him, Enviest thou for my sake? Would God that all the Lord's people were prophets, and that the Lord would put his spirit upon them. And Moses gat him into the camp, he and the elders of Israel. And there went forth a wind from the Lord, and brought quails from the sea, and let them fall by the camp as it were a day's journey on this side, and as it were a day's journey on the other side, round about the camp, as it were 2 cubits high upon the face of the earth. And the people stood up all that day, and all that night, and all the next day. And they gathered the quails, he that gathered least gathered 10 homers. And they spread them all abroad for themselves round about the camp. And while the flesh was yet between their teeth, ere it was chewed, the wrath of the Lord was kindled against the people, and the Lord smote the people with a very great plague. And he called the name of that place Kibroth-hattaavah, because there they buried the people that lusted. And the people journeyed from Kibroth-hattaavah unto Hazeroth, and abode at Hazeroth.
Alright, and we're going to chapter 12, verse 15. Miriam and Aaron spake against Moses because of the Ethiopian woman whom he had married, for he had married an Ethiopian woman. Hey, that's what I was mentioning about earlier before we started reading. And they said, Hath the Lord indeed spoken only by Moses? Hath he not spoken also by us? And the Lord heard it. Now the man Moses was very meek, above all the men which were upon the face of the earth. And the Lord spake suddenly unto Moses, and unto Aaron, and unto Miriam, Come out ye 3 unto the tabernacle of the congregation. And they came out. And the Lord came down in a pillar of cloud, and stood in the door of the tabernacle, and called Aaron and Miriam, and they both came. And he said, Hear now my words, if there be a prophet among you, I the Lord will make myself known unto him in a vision, and will speak unto him in a dream. My servant Moses is not so, who is faithful in all mine house. With him will I speak mouth to mouth, even apparently, and not in dark speeches. And the similitude of the Lord shall be behold. Wherefore then were ye not afraid to speak against my servant Moses? And the anger of the Lord was kindled against him, and he departed. And the cloud departed from off the tabernacle, and behold, Miriam became leprous, white as snow. And Aaron looked upon Miriam, and behold, she was leprous. And Aaron said unto Moses, Alas, my Lord, I beseech thee, lay not the sin upon us, wherein we have done foolishly, and wherein we have sinned. Let her not be as one dead, of whom the flesh is half consumed, when he cometh out of his mother's womb. And Moses cried unto the Lord, saying, Heal her now, O God, I beseech thee. And the Lord said unto Moses, If her father had but spit in her face, should she not be ashamed 7 days? Let her be shut out of the camp 7 days, and after let her be received in again. And Miriam was shut out from the camp 7 days, and the people journeyed not till Miriam was brought in again. And afterwards the people removed from Hazeroth, and pitched in the wilderness of Paran. Alright, very interesting. So don't speak out against marrying Ethiopian women. God will put leprous disease on you. Okay. The next part of this that we're going to be reading is Zechariah 2:14 through 4:7. So we're going to go ahead right here, and I'm going to pull this up real quick for us. I really like Zechariah 2 because it covers the principle of Zechariah. Yeah, Zechariah covers the Jerusalem without walls, which I find a very interesting topic. I love to get into with people, and so this is going to be a great little read through. So starting in chapter 2, verse 14, and Sierra, you kick it off, and I'll pick it up in the next chapter. Oh, maybe this is mistaken here. Zechariah, not Zechariah? Hold on a second here. Zechariah. Interesting. I think certain Yeah, translations seem to separate out.
Maybe start at 3.
Yeah, so we're figuring this out. Yeah, all right. We'll start in chapter 3.
Right. And he showed me Joshua the high priest standing before the angel of the Lord.
Hold on. That is Yeshua. Yahushua, the high priest. All right, cool. Sorry.
And Satan standing at his right hand to resist him. And the Lord said unto Satan, The Lord rebuke thee, O Satan. Even the Lord that hath chosen Jerusalem rebuke thee. Is not this a brand plucked out of the fire? Now Joshua was clothed with filthy garments, and stood before the angel. And he answered and spoke unto those that stood before him, saying, Take away the filthy garments from him. And unto him he said, Behold, I have caused thine iniquity to pass from thee, and I will clothe thee with change of raiment. And I said, Let them set a fair mitre upon his head. So they set a fair mitre upon his head, and clothed him with garments, and the angel of the Lord stood by. And the angel of the Lord protested unto Joshua, saying, Thus saith the Lord of hosts, If thou wilt walk in my ways, and if thou wilt keep my charge, then thou shalt also judge my house, and shalt also keep my courts. And I will give thee places to walk among these that stand by. Hear now, O Joshua the high priest, thou and thy fellows that sit before thee, for they are men wondered at. For behold, I will bring forth my servant the branch. For behold, the stone that I have laid before Joshua, upon one stone shall be 7 eyes. Behold, I will engrave the graving thereof, saith the Lord of hosts, and I will remove the iniquity of that land in one day. In that day, saith the Lord of hosts, shall ye call every man his neighbor under the vine and under the fig tree.
Next chapter. And we're going to 4:7. So, and the angel that talked with me came again and waked me as a man that is wakened out of his sleep, and said unto me, What seest thou? And I said, I have looked, and behold, a candlestick of all gold, with a bowl upon the top of it, and his 7 lamps thereon, and 7 pipes to be 7 lamps, which are upon the top thereof, and 2 olive trees by it, and upon the right side of the bowl, and the other upon the left side thereof. So I answered and spake to the angel that talked with me, saying, What are these, my lord? And the angel that talked with me answered and said unto me, Knowest thou not what these be? And I said, No, my lord. And then he answered and spake unto me, This is the word of the Lord unto Zerubbabel, saying, Not by might nor by power, but by my spirit, saith the Lord of hosts. Who art thou, O great mountain? Before Zerubbabel thou shalt become a plain, and he shall bring forth the headstone thereof with shoutings, crying, Grace, grace unto it. Alright, I think that's the HAFTARAH, Zechariah. So now we're going to go ahead and flip over here to the Gospels, Matthew 14, and we're going to be reading a few verses there. So once again, for those of you who are not familiar with the way Torah portions work, is you read portions from the Torah, the first 5 books, you read portions from the prophets and the writings, and also some from the New Testament, and they all often have verses that whoever out there has worked together these readings. Of course, the Torah portion itself is very ancient, but reading into the Gospels and tying that into the Torah portion itself is something somebody's put together. But often there are verses that we're reading together that have a significant tie to what we're reading in the Old Testament or in the prophets. And so I want to encourage you guys as we go ahead and finish up here with Matthew to think how these words and these verses are all tying together. What's the parallels that you're hearing and you're seeing when reading through this Torah portion? I'd love if you guys could leave those in the comments and discuss those with us. I think this is a great way to kind of bring aspects of the Word out. So jumping over here to Matthew 14, verses 14 through 21. And Jesus went forth and saw a great multitude, and was moved with compassion towards them, and he healed their sick. And when it was evening, his disciples came to him, saying, This is a desert place, and the time is now past. Send the multitude away, that they may go into the villages and buy themselves victuals. And Jesus said unto them, They need not depart, give ye them to eat. And they say unto him, We have here but 5 loaves and 2 fish. He said, Bring them hither to me. And he commanded the multitude to sit down on the grass, and took the 5 loaves and the 2 fishes, and looking up to heaven, he blessed and brake, and gave the loaves to his disciples, and the disciples to the multitude. And they did eat, and were filled, and they took up the fragments that remained, 12 baskets full. And they that had eaten were about 5,000 men, besides women and children. Well, straight off the bat, I see the parallel of God will feed you if you're there at his feet, waiting to follow his direction, his instruction, and that's what we see. Of course, the people complained when they were leaving Egypt and the Exodus. They complained about the manna, and so God gave them so much meat that they were probably sick of it because they weren't grateful for what they did get. But we see the same premise here with Yeshua feeding the multitude in the New Testament. So anyways, there's a lot of interesting things about this Torah portion. The Spirit being put on the 70 elders, the big story there of Miriam basically getting punished for being a racist against an Ethiopian woman, and the punishment was she turned leprously white. So there's a lot of stuff in the scriptures that show us the nature, character, and the things that God cares about. And so that's why we read through this stuff that some people might find repetitious or boring to read through the Old Testament and the prophets, but I think going all the way through it, seeing everything that has to be said, is a benefit for both you and me and Sierra and our walk. So thanks for tuning in, guys. I know I'm going to be going over and doing some virtual house church over this same Torah portion on Rob Skiba's channel, so you can check that out. Don't forget to like and share out our video. This is a great time for us to be getting into the Word, making that weekly commitment to read, and we're glad you guys join us. So we'll catch you guys next time. Shabbat Shalom.